All right, everybody. Welcome back to the PRPL Podcast. This is your host, Austin Izard. Hope you're doing all right out there today. The Sad Sacks are back with a brand new episode. This time diving into the 1991 Surfer-Heist cult classic Point Break, starring Keanu Reeves alongside Patrick Swayze and Laura Petty. Join us as we discuss our favorite characters, scenes, themes, and things, and answer the eternal question, is this movie better with Nicolas Cage? Welcoming in my co-host here, Griffin and Mike Fletcher. How we doing today, fellas?
Doing well, man. We're ready to rock. This is a good one. You know, we got some big names. We got Keanu, Patrick Swayze. So, yeah, let's do it, man.
Boys, you all are forgetting the biggest name in this movie. Screw
Gary
Keanu Reeves.
Busey.
There you go. Come on, Gary Busey. My God, this guy's a living legend. Come on.
Yeah.
My God, both of you kept him out.
Give me a Gary Busey.
Gary Busey. I mean, golly.
The meatball marinara monster, huh?
Yeah.
Two of them.
That's that.
Oh, if you all
Should've
get
got
it.
3 of these, man. Come on.
Yeah.
He's laughing.
I love how he leans out the car and he goes, 2. Give me 2.
Hey, I hear him, man. I'm a big meatball marinara fan myself.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So,
Good
Griff,
for
this
you.
was your pick. What got you around to picking this one?
Well, I grew up with a lot of movies on in the background. This was one of them. I'm sure this was on Stars a million times over. So every time you'd be flipping through the channels and you saw Point Break, we'd just throw this on as background music, basically, and hang out, you know. But, I mean, every time you start looking at the movie, you actually start watching what's happening, and you're like, this is pretty fun. You know, we got some awesome scenes, and I know we hadn't gotten Keanu on just yet, so I thought that might be a good reason to bring it up, too.
Yeah.
Or Swayze.
Yeah. Good point, Austin.
So, I mean, I thought this would be an awesome one, and I think it's kind of on that cult edge. So, I don't know. I just thought that we could get some people into this one and kind of get some people to watch a great movie if they haven't seen it.
Got your guy Ketis in here, too. RHCP.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I
Absolutely.
say.
Yeah.
Check it out.
There you go. He brought it
Oh,
up for it.
My God, last week he's pulling up. He's got Nick Cage, and now he's got the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Good for you, Griff.
I wasn't aware that he had any kind of filmography under his belt. I know Flea's in a few things, namely Back to the Future 2.
Yep.
One that I think of right up the top of the...
What's crazy about Anthony Kiedis, apparently he was actually kind of like a child actor of some mild degree. So, you know, California guy, so it only makes sense that he'd have been in this one. But,
Set in LA,
it's
this
interesting.
movie.
Yep.
So that works
Exactly.
as well. Well, here, let's hop into this, guys. This comes out July 12th of 1991. We got a young FBI agent infiltrates a group of charismatic bank robbers suspected to be thrill-seeking surfers, only to find himself drawn into their adrenaline-fueled lifestyle and torn between duty and loyalty. Directed by Catherine Bigelow, who did both The Hurt Locker and Zero Dark 30. Different movie than that, for sure. This is
Very different.
or both of those. So she was married actually to James Cameron for a couple years, and I think he had some involvement with this. Written by W. Peter Iliff, I believe is how you'd say his name. He's the guy who wrote Varsity Blues, so that's kind of a fun one. Rest in peace. I can't remember what the main actor's name in that, but he just passed away.
Yes, sir.
In terms of performance and reception, $24 million budget, $83.5 million box office. So we're back in the winning side of things worldwide. Ended up being 29th overall on the year, 1991. On the review platforms, we got a 7.3 out of 10 on IMDb, 68% on Rotten Tomatoes. Letterboxd, we got a 3.8 out of 5. But I'll go ahead and spin it back your way, Griffin, for some of the things you like about this movie and then your rating on it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the things that I most enjoy about this movie, foremost the vibe. I think that it's really fun. I think it's kind of silly. It's kind of hokey. There's no doubt about it. But I think it does it in a charming way. I think that you walk away from this movie liking it. And there are also some really fantastic moments. I'm thinking of the skydiving scene, which, everyone knows that one. And also Swayze's performance as Bodhi. I think he kind of steps up to the plate in this one and just smacks it right out of the park. I think that's obvious. But, it kind of just has some of those little funny edges to it, but at the same time makes you really love it. And I think a lot of the dialogue's really fun too. I think the whole concept of, the big storm, the 50-year storm, it's like, oh man, what's that going to be? And also kind of brought surfing to the forefront, I'm sure, for one of the first times in Hollywood. Could be wrong about that, but I bet it. I think it kind of made some waves in that way. So, that's probably my favorite part about it. And if I was going to rate this one, the truth is, I think that this movie is around the 3.5 range. I think that that's kind of the fair way to see it. As you've been saying, Austin, I think with my personal connection to it and maybe my penchant for silliness, I'm looking at Gary Busey's character
penchant
as Pappas.
For buggery.
Exactly. I'm giving this one a 4.0, man. I think this is a 4.0. I just really enjoy it. I'm watching it right now. I'm watching the scene where Pappas has to pick the bricks off the floor of the pool. He jumps in like a crazy person. I mean, I don't know. I think there's a lot of fun stuff here. It's maybe a little silly in some of the ways they're like, oh man, and it's really, really California, but I love it. I enjoy it.
Yeah. I mean, very like 90s movie. It's got a lot of that feel. There's a lot of inspiration. I think like the first Fast and Furious is basically a play-by-play of this movie in terms of the plot line, and has a lot of that kind of hokey, goofy dialogue alongside it. Obviously, Pappas is a clown. I mean, look at his big old teeth in there too. Like he's a clown. So, I mean, I think that's all. Those are pretty fair judgments with that. Going back kind of on that 50-year storm thing. Have you guys ever watched the documentary? I think it's a series that's still going on called 100-Foot Wave.
No.
Really, really cool. And I thought about it instantly when he kind of brought up that aspect or that part. So it's about these big wave surfers going around the world trying to find basically the biggest wave. There's this place in Portugal called, I think, Nazare or Nazare, I think is what it's called.
Sounds more like
And these waves are ridiculous. They got people out on like jet skis to retrieve anyone who falls. Like it's incredible watching it. There's some way that it breaks into the bay or whatever the hell's going on, but really, really cool stuff, and definitely hit some of those themes that old Patrick Swayze's talking about. You gotta be willing to pay the ultimate to ride the ultimate or whatever the hell he says. But I'll send it your way, Mike, for some of your things here.
Guys, I mean, we hear these, just the names are so cool. Pappas, Agent Pappas.
Angelo Pappas.
Well, Agent
Pretty good, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying it's cool, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it. And then you've got, the backstory of, he was our boy Johnny Utah was a superstar football player, and everybody knew him.
Yeah, but he's an undercover cop. Everyone knows it.
But what was cool, Austin, was he said he was in law. That kind of threw him off. So I mean, it did, because I thought the same thing. The first time I saw it, I went, "Oh my God, they know this cat." But he said he was into law. But, we got him. We know he was a football stud. We've got bank robberies. We've got surfing. We've got skydiving. I mean, what's there not to like other than, Griffin's pointed out, the bra. That gets a little bit, and guess who that is? That is going to be, Keanu Reeves is the bro, just some of the, you all seen Bill and Ted. I mean, my God, it's like, dude, it's Bill and Ted on a surfboard in some ways. But again, I think the savior Pappas And our boy Patrick Swayze, as Griffin said, Patrick Swayze saves this movie. He is so damn cool in it, and his name being Bodhi. Oh man, I mean, there's kids. Yeah, Bodhi. So cool. I mean, he's so friggin' cool.
Hey, Dad? Did you see this one in theaters? Do you remember the first time you saw
it? Yes, I did, and it was again. Keanu Reeves was new to the game. Patrick Swayze, had done Red Dawn, and so we kind of knew Patrick Swayze was cool.
Had done plenty before this.
So yeah. I mean, but movies that I knew. Yeah, but Red Dawn, he was just he kicked ass in it.
Before this too.
Absolutely. So yes. So the dude, I mean, he's got it. We knew he had it. But Keanu Reeves was supposed to be the star of this. I think he gets outshined by our boy Bodhisattva.
Do you think that was this kind of an interesting role for Patrick Swayze? I feel like he's kind of, I don't know if you call him the straight man in a lot of those movies you were mentioning, Austin, but like he definitely wasn't the surfer type in Roadhouse, so to speak. So
he was always like the machismo guy,
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I think it fit him perfectly. His type of character, it's kind of that allure, whatever it might have been to him. He's got that manly man presence in the way he carries himself. He's absolutely every bit of that, regardless of whether or not, they're doing something like surfing. And even in this, he's not the surfer,
No, not at all.
No,
I think my score would be a lot. I mean, this probably wouldn't even be a movie I would be interested in if he was doing the bruh and all that. That would bother me. But he didn't. He did not. I mean, this puts Keanu Reeves on the map, believe it or not. I mean, it's a fact. The skydiving, guys, and I know you all have read up on this, but Patrick Swayze did a lot of his own skydiving. This guy he did a lot of his own stunts. And if you see the one where he's doing the flips and the spin, that's real. That's him. Yeah. It's kick ass. So that's what I really enjoyed about it. And also I loved cars. I'm a car guy, and you see Keanu Reeves driving a 1970 Mustang. That's just another side note, which I love. I gave this, again, kind of Griffin on your point. I was at that 3.5, but again, I like this one. I've always thought it was cool. It's always one that I watch. I gave it a 4. I can't believe we came up with the same score, but I came up with a 4 for this one. It could be lower. I get it, guys. We could be in the 3 range, no problem. I wouldn't argue with anybody about that, but I like it. I think it's cool. It's fun. I love those. Hey, run them, chase them. Robberies. Sky.
Trash crime.
I just love them.
Like Heat. I mean, I said, I had mentioned that I just watched Crime 101, which shared a lot of parallels to it. You got the older disgruntled cop. You got the young gun in that. The young gun's not really a player, but it was this guy making bank robberies. He had however many bank robberies along the coast, the 101, which is the highway there. And the cops trying to chase him down. This is the guy. So it's a lot of that kind of mystery involved with it as well. More in tune with like kind of following the actual robber than this, but a lot of parallels that went alongside that kind of story. So hopping into some of my things, the things that I liked about this movie, it's just fun. It's a good old time. It's a good old ride, and it works well despite all the hokiness. I think those are the things that hold it back from rising above anything more than that. It just being like a really fun, entertaining watch. But I think that's very indicative of just the type and style of movie that was made then in a lot of ways too. Everything's gotten a lot more into the dramatics and realism side of things, for better or for worse in some cases, for sure. As I mentioned, trash crime film. Absurd, over the top, not quite Face Off absurd and over the top, but it tests the line in a couple ways. I thought that, Anthony Kiedis' crew is, somewhat in line with the, Castor Troy's crew of guys as well. Just very, very, very ridiculous. All those characters, the haircuts that they fucking had, their names.
War Child,
Bunker, all that. I mean, Anthony Kiedis' hairstyle. All the way.
What was Anthony Kiedis' name in it? What was his name? It was Tone. Yeah.
But I really do love the surfing, the surfer speak, the culture element of that, the adrenaline, the thrill seeking, LA, as I mentioned. I think the three main, you got Angelo, of course, as well. You got your guy, Gary Busey or Bussey, however you pronounce it. But Keanu Reeves, Patrick Swayze, and Lori Petty all do really well in their parts, even though, like, it falls apart for Keanu Reeves in some places. Like, he really seems stiff.
He kind of overacts a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, especially by the end, it's like, God, I guess he's kept surfing and he's really gotten further into it, but he really gets into the, he really gets into that at some point. But
you're going down, man.
Let her go. When they're, it
was, I get it.
For sure, but it works in a way for the tone and like what this movie just is. The ending was a little perplexing to me. I guess we'll get a little more to that, but I think maybe it does make sense in terms of the theme. But we'll talk about that a little more. I do think Angela Pappas is the most cranked up character in this thing, and sometimes it worked well, sometimes it didn't for me. Like it went a little over the top too. And that just corny dialogue, and those aren't even things that I didn't like, but I think those are things that are like cons and holding it back from rising above anything more than what I have it as. 3.5, really fun watch. It's nice. It was I really enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun with it.
Was this your first time watching it?
Yes, this is my first time watching it, so I enjoyed it. No real big complaints. The stuff the complaints would be the shit that's like, why would you even? That's not what this movie is.
Here's a question: has Keanu Reeves ever thrown a football in his life? That Canadian Keanu Reeves, has he ever thrown a football?
Hey, I was gonna say certainly not at the Ohio State University in the Rose Bowl. That's for sure.
And guys,
I was like, come on, man! Like even I know he's throwing it.
That's Uncle Rico.
I was like, what is he doing?
Guys, and he's
not even Uncle Rico.
He's been in another movie where he was a quarterback.
Yes.
And he was the comeback.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
I'm sorry, Austin, The Replacements.
Is it? Yeah, is it The Replacements?
I think it's The Replacements.
I know he's one of those. Yeah, The Replacements. That's what
I was just like, Austin's going to tear that apart. Yeah, they have all these surfer guys playing football on the beach. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, let's get into our favorite scenes, guys. Let's let's give let's give Griff the honors here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Well, I'm taking the big dogs out of the way. The skydiving scene. What a fantastic go. You have the excitement of them riding up in the plane. Of course, the stakes are high. Literally, they just did that huge foot chase through homes, the suburbs. Keanu screws up his knee again. I'll call him Johnny.
Yeah, how many times can you blow your knee out in a movie? Really? Well, that was just...
The movie Hot Fuzz takes there's like a moment in that movie where they show that they're watching the scene where he shoots up into the air, and they end up reenacting that in the movie, and it fits, I guess, thematically or plot-wise in that, which is kind of funny. Just a little ode in Hot Fuzz, which is a fun one. But go on.
Yeah, that is fun. No, but that scene, I think that one's fantastic. I remember watching that as a kid while they all grab hands, of course, and you have them doing that big circle through the sky. Seeing Bodhi do the backflips, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. Of course, when I was reading more into it, they had I don't know how they did it, but they didn't actually have most of the actors skydive aside from Patrick Swayze. So somehow they pulled it off.
I saw behind the scenes image. They had them on little trolley things blowing wind up, and I guess they green screened it in basically.
Nice.
One of the things
it looks pretty good though.
It does look good. One of the things that I had as a complaint about it is like, there's no fucking shot in hell you're hearing a word anyone saying. Like, there's so much of it's like they're at a round table being able to talk or like yell across. They're just talking, and some of like the sound bites that they just like put in the dialogue. It's like, God, that just sounds so ridiculous. They're just yelling. They're not falling right now from a plane, of course. But.
Yeah.
Well, what about Keanu? Johnny Utah jumps out of the plane without a pack on. I mean, how crazy was that? It's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I thought that was just off the wall.
That really rose up.
I mean, my God. Some other scenes that I think are fun. Man, I mean, I really like the party, actually, where you get to see, you get to see old Johnny and the girl. I can't even think of her damn name.
Tyler.
Yeah. Johnny and Tyler at the party. And, you're seeing Swayze hitting the tequila. And she's like, I taught him that trick, all that good stuff. And then when you get around the campfire, I think that's really fun, where they first start talking about the 50-year storm. And, it's just kind of got that campfire vibe, late night. Everyone's been to a party like that. They're
going on a stealth mission.
Oh, yeah, drinking Coronas. I mean, that's pretty fun. I really enjoyed that. And again, I think just getting to see everyone chatting, and also Johnny coming in as the FBI agent, but also kind of saying, man, I kind of like these guys. Like, what's going on?
Oh, yeah.
I think that was
there's the great bit of that scene is he actually surfs. Johnny's surfing, and he has that dialogue with Tyler where she's saying, oh, it looks like something like you look actually like you're enjoying yourself, not like you're here for a school
like you're
assignment.
Studying for a test.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Which is kind of that turning point where everything's kind of clicking with him.
Absolutely.
Which I guess makes the ending a little less perplexing. That kind of, what is his allegiance? I think that's something that's really questioned here. And I mean, I think it verbatim gives you the answer, and maybe that makes the ending less perplexing because he throws away his FBI badge. He lets Swayze go out and surf that last time, knowing that he's full well dead and done once he tries.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think like you said, Austin, I do think there are some pretty cool thematic elements to that. I mean, I was even looking at that scene like, hey, this is the last thing Bodie was wanting to do. That's him fulfilling his purpose. Johnny had been hunting for him all this time. He fulfilled his purpose. He was done too. Through the badge.
That's
in the water.
I guess the piece that I made with it is that he got him in the end. He got him cuffed. You lose. I win. I got you. I tagged your back. You're done. I don't need to actually make you go to prison, and because he liked the guy, obviously.
Yes,
he doesn't shoot him.
I think that's the whole message is he really liked him. I mean, he had a lot of respect for him in that, wow, what a life to live. This guy is just a free spirit.
Yeah, and then I think that like him. And it turns back to one of the very earliest scenes that you have where Pappas and Johnny get in that fight. Where he says, are you alive still? Then before you're in that box, and that's a lot of it. It's just living life to the fullest. I think that's kind of the biggest theme you can pull from this, run it wild if that's your thing. But, while you're here, live it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's even the thing where, like, I kind of liked, you know what? I'll just say it. I think another really fun scene, my last scene, is actually when we're introduced to Bodie. You see him out on the waves, just killing it. And that's when Tyler kind of goes, hey, that's Bodhi. They call him the Bodhisattva. Apparently a Bodhisattva, it's got to be Buddhist, right? I'll look that up. But essentially it's someone, or maybe it's Hindu. I think it's Hindi. It's someone who could go to the next stage, the nirvana stage, the whole stage of essentially heaven in Hindu culture, but decides to come back and actually help other people try to reach that state too. That's what a bodhisattva is. And, she goes, hey, he's a real seeker, which I thought sounds silly, but it was kind of cool too. Oh, and then, he comes up and he sweeps her off her feet, kisses her right in front of Johnny. And you're like, damn, who's this guy? So
I think like, is that her man for a second? I was thinking that, but obviously they were involved at some point. It's kind of funny. There's a Bodhisattva India or IPA somewhere at some brewery, and as well as like a Johnny Utah Pale Ale.
Very nice. Yeah, but I think those are my picks, man. I mean, a lot of really great scenes in this one.
Yep. Mikey.
Austin, I think Griffin covered the whole damn movie, to be honest with you.
Well, those are the big ones.
Good God. Hey, Griff.
Sorry, man. Leave some for the rest of us.
I think he only took two, but those are the ones.
Well, I think he took all the crumbs, but I'm going to throw a few of them out there. And if I've said the ones he did, so what? Pappas, we see him at the beginning of the movie. They throw out a couple of bricks and he's got to jump in and pull up 2 bricks to qualify for something. So Pappas, he jumps in and he's got a blindfold on. He's like, I'm saddled with a quarterback punk, and he goes, welcome to SeaWorld. Then he flips into the water. He's getting ready to flip into the water.
Yeah, that was tuned up for sure.
Yeah, that was – well, guys, let me just say this, Oz. I don't know how many movies you all seen of Busey, but guys, let me just give you a couple of them that you'll go, okay, this is just the way he is. Under Siege, The Firm. He's in The Firm with Tom Cruise. He's in Lethal Weapon. He plays a real bad guy. You'll love him in it. He's got bleach blonde hair, guys. It's crazy. And let me say this. I think that Gary Busey won if it wasn't an Academy Award, he won something huge for Buddy Holly. We need to look that one up. But
he was nominated for Best Actor and won for National Society. Well, no. Buddy Holly, for which he was nominated for Academy Award for Best Actor. And then he won.
So he did not win.
No, just nominated.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I thought he won. I just remember that was like a real big deal after you saw this crazy ass in other movies. But, guys, he's been all over the place. There's a million. He's kind of like our guy Cage, where he's been in a million B movies. So check those out. Speaking of checking out, you've got Tyler in this movie, okay? This is the same chick. She's the siren in this movie. Would we all agree? She's the little sexy
more
thing.
Than that, though. Like, she's got a lot of, and I think they said this. They purposefully gave her a name that could be male or female to kind of highlight. And she's got the pixie cut, and she kind of big dogs Keanu Reeves in a lot of ways in this. So I think she's more than just a siren. I think she's kind of an equal.
Well, in Austin, there's a reason I brought that up. I mean, and in the next couple of movies, she's Tank Girl. So if that tells you anything,
G.I. Jane, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I think she looks fantastic in this movie. And then when you see her in Tank Girl and a couple others, you're like, oh my God, that was the same girl from Point Break. Wow, you're kind of shocked. The scene that I like, and I know you all talked about it, was when our guy Johnny, oh shoot, I just went blank. But our guy Johnny Utah, thank you, Griffin. I was going to say something else. Thank you, Johnny Utah. Yeah, when he cranks up old Pappas and says, "You've been working for 22 years, forget about it." He says, "They're ghosts. I've been doing this for 22 years. They're ghosts." And he calls him over the hill, and he starts basically trying to, fight him, to get him pissed off. He goes,
firing him up.
Are you good and pissed off?
Yeah, he got him quick too. He was.
Yeah, it was great. You could just see how crazy he would do that now to Gary Busey. Gary Busey might not be able to come back from thinking about acting. He might lose his shit. But he goes, you feel like you're alive now? And he's like, yes. He goes, so tell me about your damn theory. And then he starts telling him about the ex-presidents or surfers and check out the tan lines. And then they talk about sex wax. And I thought that was kind of cool. And then I like the line. Well, I don't like the line. I think it's really shitty of our guy Utah here. But he tells Tyler the line about his parents had died.
God, yeah.
And then he goes into, hey, I want to, I just want to be this free spirit. I want to learn something. But surfing is what I want to do. And, and he's talking about this different life that he wants to have. That was
pretty easy for him, too. She bit all in on that.
Yeah, and he sold her, and it was really shitty at the time, but it got again, this cat's undercover, so this is what he has to do to get in, and we find out that hey, he got in with the right person because she ended up having connections to the ex-presidents.
That's right.
There you go.
So I guess it's
Austin, clean this thing up.
Well, I might just be, going over what we've already touched on to some extent. The first one I have here is kind of Johnny putting on the moves a bit there, learning to surf. I thought maybe the best the surfing ever looked and just kind of the coolest scene was when she was like, that's Bodhi, and you see him hitting some big ass wave. I thought that was kind of sick, just the mysticism to that and his character.
Yeah.
It was kick ass. Very
and
good.
And then it turns into them playing football, and I'll go ahead and, put this out there. This is just like surfing Lost Boys, right? That's what I felt like in a lot of ways. That these guys were just I was expecting them to turn into fucking vampires.
Yeah, they can turn into vampires.
I was just waiting for that to happen. But it's just them playing football. And Johnny definitely did not play football for the Ohio State University.
No. Yeah, but I was like, God, they could have made it like at least some podunk school or something.
Exactly.
Way to go.
Yeah, we saw you in the Rose Bowl, man. Yeah. It's like the only reason you didn't get drafted because you blew your knee out.
Yeah, it didn't have anything to do with that raggedy arm of yours.
Yeah.
Yeah, my God.
Not at all. But I did think, it was like, God, they instantly know who this cat is, but he's just an undercover cop too. So that's kind of funny. Yeah. I really love Bodhi's party. I thought that was probably the best bit, probably the best song in the movie too. That Jimi Hendrix playing as they walk.
Yes,
that was clean, man.
Excellent.
Testosterone, adrenaline, stealth mission. Johnny's surfing. He's happy. And he's also horny. He ends the night with Tyler as well, wakes up with her, going into my third and final favorite scene, him being late for the raid, and then just the raid in general. I thought was a really good,
cool.
The best action sequence in it for me, definitely. I mean, has nothing to do with the naked kung fu lady at all. Nothing like that, or the girl answering the door. Neither of them, who Pappas kind of perks up for a second when he first whoa!
He was looking for his dog.
Yeah, he played that move a couple times.
Like he's a Scooby.
Hey, you seen a kid that walked through here too? He did a couple times. That was just his go-to. Is kind of a nonchalant undercover play.
He was funny. He cracked me up, man.
But pretty intense bit when that lawnmower kind of comes in. That was something I was like waiting for it to happen as soon as they started fighting out there. And
that dude kind of looked like a badass. That War Child guy.
Oh yeah, he did. Even when they had him surfing earlier,
he was a big cat.
I wouldn't have messed with that dude.
Yeah, War Child would have fucked my world up for sure.
War Child, man.
Hey guys, another scene that I just thought about when the guys are at, and Les Griffin talked about this, when the guys were at the, hey Griff, sorry, I wasn't really listening. But when the guys were at the bank and he's getting that meatball sandwich for him, he looks across in there in that Lincoln, and then Johnny comes out and he chases him, and then, he starts shooting at him at the bank. It's a really good car chase. You see the cars, sliding on the road, and then you see our boy Bodhi, which I'm not really sure if that works that way, that you can light up gas like that.
I was waiting. It's like, does that not suck in and just blast the whole thing up?
Austin, I have been around, and I'll have to tell you all the story offline, but I have been around where someone has thrown gas on leaves and then thrown a match. It doesn't do that, guys. It blows up. It blew leaves up like 25 feet in the air. Yeah. It was like a kaboom. So I don't think that works that way, by the way, but that was a really cool scene where he was gassing that car. And the biggest scene, to answer your all's question about the end, was Johnny Utah has Bodhi in his sights. And what does he not do? He doesn't miss, right? Yeah. And he starts going,
he did miss a few times in that shootout, too. And so did our boy Pappas. He had walked right behind him and just missed, too.
Yeah, well.
Pappas.
But I think that's the reason. I think he really liked the cat. I think he really, down deep, he's like, man, this guy's cool as hell. I wish I could be a searcher too. The guy's really cool. So,
yeah.
But I had to add that.
That's good.
Good call.
Let's hop into our character categories, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, Griff. Give it to us.
I got this one in the bag. Top character, Bodhi. For all the reasons we've already mentioned. I just think he's really cool, and and also I think the best monologue of the whole movie that we get is actually after they see Johnny coming at him, and they're like, "Oh my God, he's an undercover agent," and he has all of the ex-presidents on that beach, and he's talking to him, going over why they do it. Like, I think, what does he say, Austin? He talks about the metal coffin that everyone's riding to work in. He's like, hey, man, we're fighting against that. Yeah. Do you guys believe in me? Are you with me? I thought that was really cool. And he just has such charisma, even though they're robbing these banks, man. I mean, I just think he makes himself so likable. And that's why, like you said, even Johnny Utah is on his team and lets him get his final wave, and also is not capping his ass. So he's my favorite character. 6 man, I got to go with Pappas. I just think he's so funny. He's so crazy.
Is he on the floor, though? Is he starting 5?
I didn't think he was.
So.
I didn't think he was, Austin, because well, I mean, unless you all think, but I had him as my 6th man too, because
I'll
honestly,
give it to you, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got Tyler, you got Johnny, and you got Bodie, and then it's Pappas right behind them. Like, who else is bigger?
Well,
in the story, no one.
Yeah, I mean, you got a good point.
But I'll give you it. I mean, he's a sidekick.
He's the guy.
Keep going. Continue on, Griffin.
Oh, yeah. Well, Pappas for me for 6 man, because I do find him really funny. I like the guy. When he gets capped at the end, Johnny Utah's right there with him because they form a nice alliance, and they are on a team, of course, by definition, and also in spirit, I would say. I really, really enjoy them, and I love Gary Busey's character. So that's 6 man for me. Sad sacks. I was thinking about it. We got a lot of sad sacks in this movie.
There's a ton of sacks.
There are so many sacks. I mean, you could go, I won't name them all, but Roach. I mean, Roach, kid gets capped. They bring him up in the airlift, make him jump out of it with whatever they got on him. That dude's done by the time he hits the ground. He's lucky you didn't just splatter out there. Yeah. Roach, he's a sack, man. And then they just take the money off of him and ditch.
I thought they were about to leave it for a second. I was like, God, this is going to be a terrible plot hole if they just forget that he's there with the money, because they start driving off, but then they drive to him.
Oh, yeah. No, they get him. So he's a sack. Man, I could grab some more, but I won't do it. I think the biggest sack is that like mall cop who's in the bank at the end.
That is a big sack.
Scared to death. That cat's scared to death. He's like, don't do it. The guy's like, I'm undercover, man. We're going to get these guys. He's like, no, please don't do it. Please don't do it.
I mean, what a terrible decision, though. Fuck that that off-duty cop. I mean, dude, come on. No one was going to die.
It was a bad move.
The money's insured. It's a bad fucking move, man.
Bad move. So what happens? Kindergarten cop has to get up and start cracking shells, gets capped, and he's done for.
I probably would have left his ass. This is a bad idea, man.
He's on the ground begging for his life. That guy gets up. He's got to get up too, and they cap his ass. He's done.
They got more firepower than us, buddy. We're not. Yeah. This is not the fucking plan. So is that your number 1 sack, or are you going with Roach?
That's no. Kindergarten cop. He's my sad sack of the movie. They do him dirty.
Yeah, that was a rough way to go for sure. Mikey.
Guys, favorite character? I mean, of course, and I'm sure this will be a round robin. All of us are going to be saying the same thing, but Bodie is the coolest cat in the movie. I mean, you just love him. The hair, of course, Patrick Swayze, handsome cat. We see him, talking about you see Tyler saying he's a searcher. He's looking for the ultimate ride. I mean, shit, you're like, yeah, I want to do this too, but oh shit, I can't surf, Then we see him at the party and he's drinking tequila and he's, the lime, and he's got this real pretty girl.
I think she's called Margarita.
Yeah. I mean, my God. I mean,
nice.
Yeah. I mean, so Swayze had him a margarita, which is good for that young man. He's adrenaline junkie. You hear Tyler tell Johnny that, he tells Johnny, he's got some really good one-liners. I wish I'd have written all of them down, but he said that, vision is overrated. You've got to feel it for yourself.
My favorite line of his, and probably, one of the best kind of looks at their connection to it all and the ocean, was the Yeah, they know nothing about the spiritual side of the sea. Talking about the one gang, and I thought the guy has a tenderness to him, and he doesn't like violence. He's actually a pretty interesting character. Bodie was a cool cat for sure.
Bodie had two other really great lines. He said, 1,000 feet, I insist you pull first, Bodie, to Johnny, and they were kind of trying to, just be, big dick each other out of who's going to pull, the cord. Yeah. And then, sorry, Johnny, it doesn't look like you get to be a president when they're putting on all their masks. I like that one. My sixth man, I already told you, but Pappas is my man. I love the scene where he's walking around. Look, hey, have you seen my dog Scooby? And he's trying to raid that house, and they've got the lawnmower, and no one can hear anything that's going on. And I love the sandwich. That was just so real. That sounds like something I would do. They got the best meatball sandwich.
But what a dumbass!
That chap over there.
And he goes, 2. Give me 2.
Then they show up immediately. Almost
my
fucking
brother
busted.
Says that all the time, when we're out.
Bad.
He loves to say, "Get me 2," and it's because of that movie. Sad sack of the movie, guys. I went a different route. I've got 2. I know you all will never pick these, so I'm going to say both of them.
Let's do it.
Agent Dietz.
Yeah.
He was played by Tom Sizemore, which, he ended up being pretty big actor. Been working 3 months on this investigation of meth, and you guys come in.
Good.
And he comes in, he said, here he goes, here I'm coming home with my bleached hair. My wife hates it, and you two assholes come in here and screw up my undercover job.
My wife wants me sleeping at the Holiday Inn or whatever the hell he said.
Yes.
They put him in cuffs.
Hey, he didn't have it too bad. He was looking at some all right tail, wasn't he?
Yeah, my God, it was
3 months ain't too long.
No. And my other one, and this is just because I thought it was funny, was when our boy Ben Harp, I guess he was the captain, he comes up and he gets cracked by Pappas. He says, respect for your elders, and just cracks him. I mean, it was
right
corny.
In the chops, man.
It was corny. It's goofy, but again, everybody loves that. Just snapped his ass. What do you got, Austin?
What do I got? I will not go with Bodie. I'm actually going to give it to Johnny Utah. And
wow. Good for you.
He's just, like I said, like Keanu Reeves does not hold it all together in places, but you still like the guy. There's something about this character that holds you over, and he's become a mega star because of John Wick. Acting's not necessarily his forte, but but you just like to see the guy. He makes a lot of sense in it, and he just works well. I like Johnny Utah.
Snapped him.
I like his I guess his progression. So we'll say, even though it speeds up quite a bunch at the end. Well, he might fucking kill us or something.
He might come in to do a John Wick on you, Austin. He might be in that closet right across from you right now. He might come out with a coin and hand it to you and cap your ass.
I don't have his dog, so I think I'm in good shape.
Yeah, hell yeah.
My sixth man. This is a deep one here, and I'm going to go with one, but I also can't put this one on the graphic because the only time we see her, she's butt-ass naked. But that's Freight Train, played by Julie Michaels, who's the naked lady who kicks both Keanu Reeves' ass and the other guy's ass.
I didn't know what her name was. No, that was great.
They got her listed as Freight Train here, and
she whoops that ass. She really does.
Like, come on,
the knife. Yeah,
she works that ass over for sure, but we can't have her because the only thing we'll have are a pair of tits on the screen, and we can't do that.
She had them.
She had them. She for sure did. But my deep one here is Miss Deer, the little kind of, I guess, not receptionist, but kind of, she's working back at the police station, and they go back to her. What do you have, Miss Deer, or whatever, or Deer, whatever the hell?
Yeah.
And and Utah's talking to her. She's like, not bad, Utah. Hot, very hot. Talking about Tyler when they're looking up her track record.
Right.
I really liked her character. She was great. We could have used some more of her, really, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Good.
But that's my sixth man. She's definitely coming off the bench, but she did it well in her 30 seconds of fame. Sad sack. There's a few out here. Honestly, I got Pappas as one of them. He gets cracked in the back. And, he's just already a curmudgeon.
Yeah, he did.
I think Alvarez is a fucking sack. That nerd.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's an absolute nerd. I can't hear you. And then the other time making the surf's up, dude. He just sucked. That guy was a nut sack. And he comes on the late night duty. This is crap, man.
Oh, yeah, they got their ass there. That was awesome. He said, I think there's some cold pizza here, bro.
Yeah. Gonna be a long night.
Got him.
That guy sucked. Roach was also listed out for me, but my number one sack was Ben Harp. Respect
Ben
for your
Harp,
elders, baby. That guy was
he got
nut
dropped.
sack. He just stunk too. Young. What is it? What was the quote? Young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah, yeah.
When he
An
shows
idiot.
up.
Yeah. It was
What a dork.
He was.
What do y'all think about Keanu saying, I take the skin off chick, and then he eats a fucking donut right in front of the guy?
Where he's drinking it. When he said that, I wrote down, this is fucking Griffin.
Austin, I thought the same thing. I went, oh my God.
I take the skin off chicken.
And then he ate a donut. We know Griffin wouldn't do that.
Griff looks a little bit like Ketis and his little movements in this thing.
Yeah. Griffin, give us some themes and things.
Something funny, by the way, real quick. Apparently, the reason they had Anthony Kiedis' character get knocked out on one punch, basically out of the fight, he didn't go to the fight training that they had scheduled with some coordinator dude, some guy who was teaching them how to look like they knew how to fight. So the guy just said, well, your ass is getting dropped out right away.
Yeah, just getting hit with the board.
Yeah. Got rid of him. Themes and things, you got to say surfing. You got to say California. You got to say the beach. You got to say, man, what would you say? Crew, Corona. We're getting cops. We're getting, what would we say? I think we got some spirituality too. Again, even if it is a little bit under the cover. We got bank robberies. We got presidents. We got car chases. Meatball subs.
Why does Bodie go into the vault on the last heist?
Yeah, do you have any insights into that one, Dad? It's a good question.
It's an excellent question. They hadn't done that the whole time. I guess
I was going to say the gig is up. They know the cops are on them. They know the gang that it is now.
I think they were just going for it.
You needed a big lick to really get out.
Yes. I think that's it, Austin. I think they needed that big hit, and they thought that might be it. So.
As soon as he did, it's like, God damn it. They're breaking
it's over. The guys are saying, dude, what are we doing? We never go to the vault. And then, of course, about every single one of them gets killed. So it's
Exactly.
Mm.
The only one left is Rosie, who is a psychopath apparently, or sociopath.
Yeah, he's a nutcase.
Yeah, so
gosh,
might give us some of yours.
The only ones that Griffin hit the majority of mine, but Adrenaline Junkies, Bleached Hair, FBI. We got to say Johnny Utah because everybody knows Johnny.
This got
Utah.
made into a play, which is kind of almost famous. I'm on crack.
Oh,
my bad.
Johnny Utah. How about ex-presidents? How about Ghost?
Oh yeah.
And then of course my favorite. How about some sex wax?
Sex wax.
Carnuba wax. Yeah.
Nice. My way. Trash crime. L.A. Young hotshot cop. Old beaten cop.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Adrenaline, of course. The thrill. Feeling alive. How about mooning? That's a theme in here for
how
sure.
About that?
Got some ass cheeks. Cops undercover. I got the ex-presidents as well. I got to give our boy Roach some love there as well with his Richard Nixon voice. I thought that was great in the first heist where he's talking in the Nixon voice and everything like, I am not a crook as he walks out the door at the end. But even throughout it, he's using the voice and he does it really well. So he had the most character for sure out of any of the presidents. He really played the part. And I think I liked his Richard Nixon character more than actually Roach himself. Not to say he was bad, but I really did enjoy him there in that aspect. But the number one thing no doubt is just surfing. You know, the spiritual side of the sea. I think that's the resounding theme of this, and kind of the thrill that goes along with that. I think the spiritual element really kind of plays through to the end, and that's why you can, like I said, make your peace with the way it ends, because he lets the guy go who he's been chasing with everything he could possibly fucking do. You know, it's tough though, because they fucking killed Pappas. You know, you would like to think he had some allegiance to that cat as well, but I guess he's pretty new on the job. But
well, I guess it wasn't Bodhi who actually killed him. So
sure,
he does die from it. You know, you're right.
Sure, and yeah, I mean that's what I mean. It's like I guess he got him, and he that was the I guess I got you. This is my big dicking of you, or whatever the hell you want to, however you want to put it. But man, it's like, God, you're just you're letting him off easy here. You know, this is what the guy wants to do anyways. So it's just like, I guess that's the.
I think it's just, you know, who doesn't know that feeling though of being like, man, this is the one thing my life is for. This is the one thing I'm looking for. And you're going to deprive the guy of that when he's literally there at the 50-year storm. It's like, man, I think it makes some sense. I think that maybe.
But what was motivating him to get there to begin with? Because he's following this guy to fucking Mexico.
Well, I don't think his plan was to let him go. I really don't. I think once he had the handcuffs on him, he's like, "I got your ass." Kind of like you pointed out, Austin. He goes, "I got your ass," and then he started thinking about it because Bodhi started selling him, "Dude, just let me do this. You know, I'm done if I go out there anyway. You know, let me just do it." And he started thinking, you know. This is what it kind of go back what Griffin keeps saying. It's like, hey, he ain't gonna make it. What's it gonna matter? They'll be dragging him back in. He'll be dead, you know. But he's at least
that's what he would prefer. He's like, I can't be in a cage or whatever.
I can't be in a cage, and he knew that he couldn't.
Another question I have is, we have to get this one here. Is that scene after the whole chase has happened? Johnny knows he's compromised. And they just show up at his door. It's like, man, how could you even possibly go so willingly? I guess he couldn't have done anything about it, but like when they take him skydiving.
Yeah, that was interesting for sure.
Like, dude, they saw you. Like you're compromised. You're an FBI agent. And it's just like, I guess he just couldn't say no kind of thing. And they actually take him. It's like, I mean, exactly what he did. It was like, oh, I'd rather have your parachute. I was like, oh, that's pretty smart. That's what I was thinking. They're about to have him splat on the earth, but that wasn't the case. They get him in other ways, which I guess is also smart. But I thought it was just a little strange that he goes so willingly when you're clearly ousted.
Yeah, you're outed. Yeah,
it was interesting. I guess Swayze. Oh, Bodhi had a nice play with having Tyler kidnapped. By the way, something funny. I just realized this. I looked it up. With Rosie, do you know what other movie that cat's in, guys?
Well, let me look at him, and I won't cheat.
Rosie.
Where is old Rosie? God, he looks like fucking Liam Neeson. Who is he?
Dude. He's in Wayne's World. He's the guy who does the countdown with the crew.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
he's the crew.
Yes.
that guy.
I wanted to bring up Wayne's World too because this photo over here looks very Wayne's World-esque in terms of like the image of it and the orange brick lettering. That's kind of funny. That's very good. Man. I don't have any tie-ins to Almost Famous. I didn't think of one. Can you guys think of one off the spot? What would make sense? I guess Jimi Hendrix.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got surfers and rock stars. Surfers and rock stars. It's a similar pairing, in my opinion. You know, it's all kind of living on the edge a little bit, doing something outside the norm. It's alternative culture.
Yeah, that's fair. Is there a Jimi Hendrix song in Almost Famous? Voodoo
I don't know that there is.
I said Voodoo Child is featured in the fictional band Stillwater leaves their tour bus to board a private plane. So there it is, Jimi Hendrix.
I was thinking it was.
It makes sense. I thought there was one in there for sure.
I'll say this, guys. The music in Almost Famous was a lot better than this movie.
Yeah. I was actually thinking that's where this one could have done a little bit better.
This one had a low budget. You could tell it was a lot of probably local bands.
Yeah, I mean there were bands. I went through and I tried to listen to the album while I worked out, and I don't want to say it's bad, but it's bad. I mean, I didn't care for it at all.
Didn't
it's music that no, sir. No, there's not a.
Well,
song.
they had like an '80s hair band song going when Johnny sees Tyler down in Bodie's room before they do the night surf, and it was terrible. I was like, oh my gosh, this was definitely '91, man. You know,
yeah, the music was really bad in this. I thought they could have upped that. You know, normally I put down notable music from the movie. The only one that I had was the Hendrix song. The rest of it was just garbage.
There was some Concrete Blonde, I Want You. I was like, oh, that's
Concrete Blonde, Joey shout out. They have some good tunes.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm going to say it didn't do it for me. None of them were notable to me.
Well, I didn't hear the whole song, but here we are, guys. We've come to the end of our episode, and as we always do, we've got one final question to answer before we can close the chapter on Point Break. And that is Point Break better with Nicolas Cage?
Oh,
Look at that. Damn, Austin.
That's Nick Cage.
That is with oh God, I'm not even gonna say it to crank you all up. Oh,
hey man, I'll just take the words out of all of y'all's mouths. This movie with Nick Cage, I think it goes from 3.5, 4 to a solid 5.0, baby. I mean,
5.1.
Nick Cage as Angelo Pappas. You guys see it. Everybody knows it. You know, when he's eating that meatball sub, he might have to get a little bit of sauce on his face or something and just keep it on for the rest of the scene. It just needs to be even crazier.
Drop a meatball.
Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to have Nick Cage as Angelo Pappas. They're fucking with him at the beginning of the movie. All the cops like, he's a deadbeat, whatever. You get Johnny Utah pushing his buttons. He has to blow up in his face. He goes up to the door with the chick in her lingerie. I mean, God.
He might do a little scoop right then and there if it's fucking Cage.
God, it is a role made for Nick Cage. So, hell yeah, this movie shoots to the stratosphere with old Nick Cage in it. Everybody knows it.
Yeah, no question about it.
Austin, that is incredible. I'm sitting here looking at my notes, and I said, "Wouldn't you love to see Pappas played by Nick Cage?" I mean, it's to me that's a no-brainer. He would just bring so much excitement to it. You know, again, we always talk about the Castor Troy. I mean, he could get friggin' crazier than our boy did already as Pappas. So, I mean,
Scooby!
Think about
Scooby!
I mean, Gary Busey's off the charts, but I'm telling you what, I think Nick Cage could go Nick Cage on him.
Nick Cage.
Austin, did you have anything different than Pappas?
Hey, here's our trifecta. I got Pappas. I mean, it was too easy. You could see him as a young Johnny Utah for sure.
Yeah.
But and maybe give a little more life to that character. But I think him being kind of just a dullard in some ways maybe works for that role.
It would be so much fun.
But Pappas is the fucking one. He would blast that thing for sure to the moon, and it would be a real compelling story with him in it for sure. I mean, maybe you make him Swayze too. He could be, with that Con Air hair for sure.
That's a crazy pick, but I would watch it for sure, man.
He's leading the bank heists. I think that works real well as well.
Fun. Yeah, he'd be a little bit more out there if he were, but I mean, God, man, too good.
Walking around his house with some chest hair out or something, at his party, dipping down margarita.
Oh, yeah, there you go. That would definitely work. Oh, Nick Cage. I mean, guys, I think the biggest question is what movie does not work better with Nick Cage? I mean, That's what we come to every single week.
Well, we will, that's why we do this every week, to find out, is there potentially a movie that wouldn't be better with Nick Cage? I mean, let's be honest. We have not found that movie yet.
We'll stop this show when we find one.
Yeah, I mean,
there
I guess,
we go.
You know what, Austin? I guess we'll hang it up.
We'll just hang it up at that point.
My God.
The search will have been complete.
Yeah.
There it is.
Until then, we're going to keep on searching.
Hey, we're searchers.
Searchers, yeah.
And we'll be searching through Fury next week.
Oh,
a war film.
Wow.
We got the anniversary of D-Day coming up. So I guess it's kind of fitting. Maybe don't want to get into too many war themes with the things at large today, but this is going to be a fun one, Fury. This is a fan recommended pick. So shout out, Jack, if you're listening here today. Thank you for the pick. We're going to get one on for you here. So we'll rock it on out. We're going to get Shia LaBeouf on here for, a second time. Going back to Holes. Hell, I want to do that one again. Holes is just such a fun movie.
Oh, Santa, let's go down.
Yeah, man. We could probably have a totally new episode from it, too. That's just the type of movie it is, man.
Exactly. I mean, we might have to find our way around to
movie.
some reruns at some point. But we got Logan Lerman as well, John Bernthal, Michael Pena, and who else but Bradley Pitt. We're bringing him back for the third time, a trifecta himself. We're getting him on here again. So Fury next week, going to be a whole lot of fun. It's an intense one for sure. So maybe a little switch up. We've had, Everybody Wants Some, Almost Famous, and Point Break, and then Fury with the Pounder. But there's some comedy in there as well, and it's a great World War II movie. If you're into that kind of, I'm not trying to romanticize war by any means, but World War II is definitely one just historically that it kind of gives that feel like the real good fight, like we were out there against some real evil. So this is a good one. It's a fun one. Haven't seen it in some years myself at this point as well, so it's going to be good to get back and check that one out. Fellas, let's hear your goodbyes and we'll get on out the booth.
Well, guys, I think this was a really fun one. I'm really glad we got to do it. Every single week we come on here, we get our talks in, and we have a good time, and that's what matters to me. Love doing this. Purple Podcasts, again, every single week, rising to the occasion, popping off, having fun, and just enjoying ourselves. And like you guys said, on that eternal search to see if there is a movie that Nick Cage wouldn't just shoot to the moon. Still haven't found it, and I don't think we're gonna, but love you boys, and I think we're gonna keep it going. Excited for next week.
Yes, sir.
Guys, let me say this. We did Almost Famous last week. The numbers are showing, that the people like this one. I'm real happy to see that. Austin pointed out that we had one of our viewers suggest a movie. Austin did the right thing and said, let's do that movie. Fury, I watched it today. I would not say it's a fun movie, but I will say it is so well done. You get into the psyche of these characters. And again, we've got Brad Pitt that is beyond belief in this movie. He is, and just the cinematography is crazy good. You feel like you're right in there in the trenches. So I'm really looking forward to that one. So nice pick. Who is that, Austin? You said your buddy Jack?
Yeah, I won't say his last name.
That's fine. That's fine. Jack, I mean, that's great. I thank him for doing that. Guys, we love the feedback. Again, Almost Famous has done really well. I love to see that. We enjoy doing it. This one was fun. Can't wait to see what everybody thinks about this one on Sunday. So keep the feedback. Keep it coming, guys. No comment is a bad comment, especially if you're picking on Austin and Griffin. That is not a bad comment. So bring them on, guys.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. As always, if you've listened all the way through, thank you very much. Go ahead and give us a subscribe. Go ahead and give us a like. Send us a comment. Do what you may. We do always appreciate that. Keep spreading the word. We're trying to grow this puppy, grow our community here, the Purple People. That is for sure. So we'll keep on keeping on. As Griffin said, we'll keep on looking for the movie that is not made better by Nicolas Cage. But it's gonna be hard to find. It's gonna be hard to find for sure.
Got him.
But love you guys. Thank you very much. Keep doing your best, and we'll be speaking to you soon. And bye bye.